when you got to live off canned food and MRE in the apocalypse, you got all that extra body fat to live on for a little bit.
Hard work.
Ooh, all right. Good morning, everybody. Hey, welcome to the Warm-Up Podcast. I am your silly host, Lou Michael, and we are driving what to the gymnasium? What on chest day again? Got you guys back in the car on chest day, which we all know is the best day. Chest day, best day. It just rhymes. It's great, and that's how it is. Anyways, so how are you kids doing? Huh? Anybody have an interesting week? No? Okay. Well, so here's something I wanted to talk about. That is, it's come up a decent amount. And I've noticed it. I've been out the gym, fitness influencer, like, I don't know what you would call it. Like, I lift because I enjoy lifting, and there's a little bit of that masochism. And it's like basically an hour, 2 hours a day, on a good day, 2 hours a day, if you can get that amount of time in. Or I just get to chill out, listen to some tunes. It's a weird, I don't know, it's like a weird meditative state. Once you get into lifting for a long time, it becomes kind of a routine, and I'll ebb and flow on how serious it is. But anyways, I used to be a trainer. I used to be like, fitness used to be like, my lifestyle, and now I'm kind of tubby and trying to get it back, and that sucks, dude. Muffin topping, never great, especially when you're fit and you're like, I'll never be unfit again, and you're like, God damn it, it happens. Life happens to you. So I'm working on that, and we talked a little bit, I think last week or a few weeks ago, about the weight loss journey, and was kind of covering some things you can do, just practical weight loss stuff. And I do want to talk about weight gain, both, I would say for muscle and just if anybody's struggling in general and they just want to put a little bit more meat on the bones, which, by the way, putting on a little bit of fat sometimes isn't a bad move, whether it be for a survivalist, mission. I know a lot of guys in the prepping community who like to stay around like 15 to 17% body fat as an actual prepper's move. Because at like 15 to 17%, if you're lifting and doing your cardio, that's not unhealthy. Okay? 17, I don't know, creeping towards maybe what would be considered unhealthy. I think 20% body fat, you're considered maybe fat or obese. I don't really know. But I do know some guys that, from a tactical perspective, that 15%, where some people might call it a dad bod, if you're rocking a shit ton of muscle under that and you're 15%, you're a fucking unit, dude. You are survivability looking good. And so I don't know. I would just say, if that's you, if that's your lifestyle, hell yeah. Also, when you're at 15%, or kind of living that lifestyle, you get to eat some fun foods as long as you're working hard. And then when you got to live off canned food and MRE in the apocalypse, you got all that extra body fat to live on for a little bit. But anyways, so we'll talk about maybe gaining weight another episode. But it's very cool and humbling, I had a younger dude at the gym I enjoy speaking with, and it's weird. Like, I don't think of myself as old, but I'm in my 30s now, and 30s it's too young to be old for people older than you, but it's way older. I don't know. The 30s is the taintal region of life where it's like, yeah, you're not young, but you're not old, and everybody kind of hates you for that reason. I'm like, I'm here for it. Like, a lot of character development is going to be done in this decade. But one of the humbling things is, I get to talk to fellas in their young 20s who are actually grown-ass adults. But again, you're like, you're still kind of a baby. Because that's something when you're older. Anybody younger than you, you're like, you fucking baby, dude. Love seeing a 70-year-old tell a 60-year-old, like, you don't even know, you baby. But anyways, it's cool because I guess for the first time in my life, I feel like I have a little bit of, like, old dude knowledge or a little bit of wisdom because I've been lifting I don't know, since I was 18. So, well over, a decade now, solid decades worth, and then some, couple extra auxiliary years of figuring it out. And I don't know. I've noticed a trend, and I don't know if it's because of social media or just society in general, or maybe how big and how intense the influencer community is these days. Which, I mean, like, good on them. Like, I'm glad fitness is becoming influential, I guess. But I guess, it is a social media thing. I think we always see the ends of the bell curve. And I'm here for people in the middle of the bell curve fitness, folks. If you work out 3 days a week, that's awesome. Good for you. If you work out 1 day a week, you're getting started. Great. Good for you. If you work out 7 days a week, as long as you're doing it great, awesome. Good for you. Like, I'm here for the overall umbrella. Yeah, the umbrella of positivity when it comes to physical fitness, because I blurping through it. That's God telling me to take a breather. I'm here for any we just call that the gassy segment. Drinking a 3D energy, huh? How's that? Now I'm belching in your face. We're entering the fourth dimension of time and space with this energy drink. But anyways, so I want to talk about one of the concerning things I see, and I'm not the first to address this, but it's fellas, mostly fellas. I don't know, maybe some ladies are getting into it as well, but younger fellas who don't realize they're dumb yet, because I didn't realize I was dumb when I was young. And you won't. Honestly, if you think you're young and you're like, I got this, you don't. And it's fine. I mean, I'm not saying you're not intelligent, but, life-wise, you might be a little dumb. And that just comes with surviving rotations of the sun, You just, there's nothing to it other than, being a little bit grizzled via time. Fucking sue me, dude. I'm gonna be old, condescending old guy wisdom. But it's something that kind of concerns me is steroid usage, and I'm gonna caveat it with this. One, I've never done steroids, but I have been accused of doing them, which was pretty rad. But that's a different story. Two, if you're getting into bodybuilding or some other sport. And honestly, I'm kind of libertarian when it comes to your body. I'm like, hey, man, like, if you're an adult, go for it. So I do want to say this. I'm not a bodybuilder, and I know people that have used steroids, and they're pretty transparent about it. And honestly, if you're in a sport where it's kind of called for, hey, if that's what you want to do, go for it. Legitimately, I'm not here to stop anybody that has dreams. I've got dreams that lead me to do perhaps not the most healthy things out there either. So I do want to caveat it with that. But I guess what I want to talk about is more of a casual user or like recreational user of the juice. Again, if it's something you want to do, I'm not here to tell you don't. But I am here to say, like, hey, especially the younger folks out there, man, this is never thought I'd be talking about this on the old silly car cast. Lou, tell us the jokes. Sorry, this is what I felt like talking about this week. I'm first in line at the red light, left arrow. This is gonna be a doozy. People are like, what is he doing with a microphone? Nothing important. But I just want to say this, especially for younger folks out there, take it to the natural limit, And I'm not one of the people that subscribe to like, oh, steroids is cheating and you're cheating to achieve something. But one, just know this, it comes at a cost, right? Everything from the economic point of view has an opportunity cost and just a cost in general. And when you're young and you haven't tapped out your natural potential, I don't, again, if it's not for a sporting reason or you really want to get into something, and again, bodybuilding's outside my scope, but if it's a recreational thing, push it, redline it naturally first. and everybody's bodies are different, so that your timeline of what naturally hitting your limit is might be different, but the reason I say that is if you hit your natural limit and then you want to, maybe up your fitness with performance enhancing drugs, yeah, okay, sure. But it's like, what if you hit your natural limit and you're fucking stoked on it, right? That's awesome. Maybe you hit your natural peak and you're like, oh, this is everything I've ever wanted. And the reason I say that is because talking about the costs of doing performance enhancing drugs is when you're young, sure, it's not going to hurt you that much. I mean, it could, but probably won't. But it's like, I talk to a lot of guys who are older than me now, and I'm not going to say it's like full of regret. That might not be it, but every one of those guys I talked to that did a lot of PEDs growing up, they're dealing with shit that kind of sucks. And some of them signed on knowing it, and others are like, this fucking sucks. Whether it's joint damage or tendon issues because you're overloading your joints with, shit ton of extra muscle, which, hey, I got there pretty naturally on my stupid chest days. But, just kind of dealing with things that kind of are harsh later on. Waving to our buddy. Hey, fella. I'm not really reinventing the wheel here. Not saying anything new. But, and yeah, just the health costs that come at it. I don't know. Drugs are bad. I'm not saying that. Drugs are a lot of fun. Explore, experiment. If steroids or PEDs or whatever the hell the newest things on the block, people are talking about peptides. I got to look into that. I have no idea what the fuck people are talking about. But in the fitness world, everybody's talking about SARMs and peptides now. And I had to ask a buddy at a gym, like, talk about old dude moment where it was like, what the fuck are those? Like, all the kids are talking about SARMs. And I still have no idea how those actually work. But my point being is, if I can summarize it before we get into the warm-up song, is the sense of accomplishment. And right, I guess I'll get into a little bit of when I was accused of using some PEDs myself. I was kind of a fat, I don't know, power lifter adjacent, like bodybuilding adjacent guy. I was just I was a lifter. I just enjoyed lifting weights from 18 to like 25. Right, I didn't pay attention to eating or macros or anything. I was kind of a degenerate young man, just boozing and dirty bulking for like, I don't know, half a decade or longer. And finally, I turned some stuff around and I cut hard for a year, like 9 months straight of cutting, and then a few extra months of, well, again, different story. The point being is, I cut down to a point I was supremely happy with. I was ecstatic, and I want to get there again. Mainly because, it was nice. I enjoyed being lean, and I don't know. I've gone through some shit where I couldn't go to the gym. I was either damaged or injured or going through family stuff. We all have life happens. How about that? Life just happens. And my point, I guess I'll get to, is hard-earned gains are loyal gains. And, I think for a lot of us that enjoy the gymnasium, it's our therapy. It's, people talk about that a lot, but it's the truth. The Iron Temple, it's cheaper than therapy, as I've heard that before. But so it's like, yeah, when you can't go, or if you're injured, or if, for whatever reason it takes a back seat, again, I can say this with anecdotal experience through myself and through some friends, those hard-earned gains, they stick around. Now, you might look a little doughy or whatever, and I'm not going to Huberman you on muscle memory or anything like that, but I'll just say this, like, bouncing back was a little bit easier every time when I was like, yeah, you put in that hard work It's going to stick around. And again, I'm not coming at anybody who chooses to do steroids. I'm just saying maybe consider, hitting your peak. And then if you feel like going for it, go for it. And this is beyond my scope, but do it healthy. I don't know, find a doctor, all right? Don't get it out of a duffel bag from a dude who knows a dude, all right? Try 2023. I have to imagine there's smarter options to get stuff out there. And I don't know. Sorry if I didn't make a fucking lucid point other than if you're young, I would say, I can say with experience, patience being the virtue that it is, put in that hard work, put in that time, see if you're happy. Oh, Jesus. See if you're happy where you're at. None of us are happy where we were at. That's why we're at the gym. The insecure palace right behind me, huh? I'm sorry, I'm projecting there. Anyways, so that was long-winded and not really a funny podcast, but I just kind of wanted to talk about that because, I don't know, there's a lot of younger dudes out there, a few that have talked to me directly about it, and I'm not super concerned about it, but it is just my 2 cents on the issue. Today's pre-workout, again, not sponsored by 3D Energy. We're having Sunburst Orange. Good flavor. Man, I didn't have any good teehees with you today. It was older brother Lou just being hopefully not a condescending dickhead. Anyways, let's get to the warm-up song today. Super jazzed on this one. I just found it, and it's one of those songs that if you didn't tell me, I would have swore it was from, like, the power rock 80s kind of, it's just got that cool, like, power rock. It's Powered Up by Cobra Man, the album Powered Up. So check them out. It'll be in the Spotify playlist under Louis D. Michael, warm-up playlist. It's fun. You can find it there on the warm-up playlist. And, Powered Up, Cobra Man. It's got a good, just a good, feel-good, walking in the gym, get a lift on. If you're heading into the gymnasium, I hope you have a great warm-up, and if you're not heading to the gymnasium, I hope you have a great day. And thanks for warming up. Warm-up podcast. All right. Okay, bye. Okay, bye, everybody. Love you guys. Okay, bye. Okay, bye. All right, bye. This is a long one. Bye. Bye, bye.